According to the CDC, only 26% of babies in the U.S. drink breast milk exclusively during their first 6 months. So that means the majority of babies are being fed at least some formula. And that brings us to Dr. Robert Califf, who's the commissioner of the FDA. Mr. Commissioner, good morning. It's good to see you.
Good morning. I'm glad I could be with you this morning.
Well, the closure of that Abbott lab in Sturgis, Michigan, has, of course, been a key driver of this shortage. The company says it is ready to open in 2 weeks, but needs FDA approval to do so. Will that happen? Will you approve the opening of the plant, and when can it reopen?
Well, we've been working closely with Abbott, as you might imagine, since the plant was closed voluntarily based on the findings of inspections. And we now have a path forward, so very soon you should hear an announcement about moving forward. And, of course, Abbott is responsible for the timeline, but I'm very comfortable with what they said about 2 weeks.
So, okay, so for you, soon means within 2 weeks it could be up and going again?
That's entirely within the realm of possibility, and, in fact, I think quite likely.
And the FDA is likely to approve it?
Yes, of course, every step of the way, we have an obligation to watch to make sure that the problems have been rectified and that the formula will be safe and also contain the constituents that are needed, remembering that the normal formula has over 30 constituents that must be there as a substitute for breast milk.
The head of one major formula company said that he expects this shortage to last till the end of the year. Do you agree with that timeline?
We don't expect it to last to the end of the year by any means. We're taking a number of measures, including getting all the manufacturers to step up, getting the Sturgis plant up and going, but also importing or bringing to bear product that was intended for other countries. That's well underway now, and in fact, I expect by the end of the day today, we're likely to have an announcement about that path forward.
Well, let's get more specific about that, because you indicated last week that the FDA would be willing to, for lack of a better way of putting it, lift some red tape so that some of this formula could be imported from other countries. How soon could people, I mean, we're talking about people who want to feed their babies today. So how soon might that happen?
Well, first of all, let me just say that, of course, and we're very concerned about this. I'm a grandparent of 6 grandkids. I have one who's in the formula age. I know how important this is to parents, and the entire FDA staff is entirely focused on this. But it's also, I think Representative DeLauro got it right when she said we have to move as fast as possible, but we also have to be safe. I mean, remember that formula intended for other countries may be labeled in a language which is not the language that is needed for the instructions for mothers and other caretakers to mix up the formula. And we also have to make sure that we're testing the formula, that it is safe and has the right constituents. But I really expect by the end of the day today we'll have an announcement on that path forward.
Well, and finally, before I let you go, you know, the FDA had the first report of a sick baby back in September. Ultimately, there were 4 babies who got sick and 2 of them died. There was a detailed whistleblower report about lack of safety at that Michigan plant back in October, but the FDA did not send a team of inspectors until the end of January. Do you think the FDA was too slow here? Are you disturbed by how this has unfolded?
We always want to be as fast as we can possibly be while also being diligent, remembering, as shown by this example, that if we do close a plant, then we have a supply shortage, so we have to get this right. Having said that, there will be a full investigation of the timeline, and we'll do everything possible to correct any errors in timing that we had, so that we don't repeat any mistakes that may have been made.
Well, Dr. Califf, thank you for being with us. I know a lot of parents are going to be hanging on your words and those announcements later today, so appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
You bet.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.